Greetings. You okay there? You gonna let him finish? You gonna let him finish? I would like to finish. I would like to finish. Greetings, boils, ghouls, and non-bioscaries. And welcome to the 2020 Spooptober Pastathon. I am, of course, joined with your two narrators, Llytic, hi, and Ichigo Koneko.
Suck my dick.
I would prefer not. I don't swing that way.
You don't swing anyway. Because you should die.
I mean, I was agreeing with the first part of the statement. Less so with the last part. It's actually rather rude of you.
I don't give a fuck.
Just gonna, diss our horror host like that?
Yes.
Doing his thing. The first month bringing him on. First year bringing him on. I'm not even being paid well for this.
He stole my Skittles.
I did no such thing. You left them on the counter.
With my name clearly written on them.
I'm blind. I navigate via echolocation. You expected me to see a name?
I told you not even 5 minutes before. Don't touch my Skittles on the counter.
That could have been any bag.
You're a thief.
Anyway, those two air out their grievances. We're fine, spider thing. Rude ass bitch. Okay. Which one of us was that directed to? Both. Fair enough. Why are you looking at me suspiciously? Anyway, we're continuing with Ted the Caver. I'm getting suspicious looks from all directions. I didn't touch the Skittles. Stop that. I also can't hear you again. I heard none of that laughter.
That sounds like a personal problem.
Well, if you wanted to be heard, you should have said something.
I did say something. Of course, also my laughter was half silent, so... Anyways.
Half silent? But yeah, we're continuing with Ted the Caver. Link, of course, in the description. April 7th, 2001. Prior to going back out to Mystery Cave again, we spent a lot of time preparing. We made a squeeze box. An accordion? Why'd they make an accordion? I'm gonna try and do an accordion sound, but the only sound that popped into my head was a harmonica. I have a harmonica somewhere in this room.
That sounded more like a bagpipe.
I never said that I was going to be able to do a good harmonica impression. It's just that my brain immediately was like, what the fuck does an accordion sound like again? And I just heard the fucking harmonica in my brain. Anyway. Which is a wooden box, the opening of which can be adjusted in size. We could crawl through the opening and see how tight of a squeeze we could fit through. From that, we were able to determine that I need about 8 inches in height to get through the smallest portion of Floyd's tomb. That meant we would have to scrape out about an inch from the floor of the passage. We also learned that the best position I would need to get through the passage would be on my stomach with my arms by my side. and of course my head would have to be turned one way or the other. The position would allow my shoulder blades to drop to their lowest point. In order to move, I would push forward or backward with my toes. It sounds difficult, but it felt adequate. Later, it proved to work sufficiently.
This seems like a bad idea.
The idea of just, moving solely by, shoving yourself along with your toes. Which is also a weird way to describe walking. Makes me uncomfortable.
I see. The second thing that we did to prepare was to construct the tools we invented to work in the cave. I came up with a clever way to chip away the inside of the passage without having to climb inside. I had my neighbor weld together several lengths of steel pipe in a manner that would allow us to take it apart while we climbed down to the tomb, but still have the strength necessary to hold up to a blow from a hammer once it was together. We made our own tips that would screw into our pipe to reach the area we needed to work on. B came up with a cool design for a scraper using an angle iron. He had his neighbor weld it together. It proved to be an invaluable tool for scraping and removing the rock. We were both proud of our inventions. I also made a device to hold my drill that attached to our pipe. We ended up not using it since B's scraper device worked so well.
Huh. That's interesting. Also, are you also getting ads for Adobe sponsored by Lil Nas X? Because I am.
I am not. My ad is for Coca-Cola energy drink.
We're gonna slide on by the fact that apparently I'm getting ads for the gay cowboy rapper.
If that doesn't say something. What the? Gotcha.
I mean, hey, he owns it.
Gotcha.
I still love the fact that, there was that one picture of him hanging out with, some other rappers at a strip club. And, someone on Twitter was just like, hey, Lil Nas X, why do you look so bored? Like, well, it's because and then just a picture of, SpongeBob with his hand, flopped out like this. It's quite simple. That's an interesting picture. Okay, so B has his eyes covered. Because we only need to know that he is B. So I am going to zoom in on that picture. Oh. I'm guessing picture of B edited to protect his identity with the pipe we made. Took the picture facing away from the tomb. He is sitting on the rope bag that we used as a bed. Behind him, to his left, is the passage that leads down to the still water. Behind him to his right is the last drop-off before the passage. You can see some orange webbing we used to climb up and down and up. Alright. I took an oath. I made a vow. I would not leave this cave until I had made it through the passage. And conquered Floyd's tomb. This would be the trip. It had been a long time since we had been out to mystery. We had been busy though. We had made the tools we had talked about. It was fun coming up with ideas for tools. Also, we made a squeeze box to determine the best technique for getting through the tight spot. Plus, we knew about how much rock we needed to remove before we could get through.
We were excited to get back out to the cave to finish our project. Our climb down to the passage took a little bit longer than usual, since we had extra tools to carry. Once we got down the passage, we immediately got to work using B's scraping tool with the pipe I had made. It worked like a charm. We could hammer the pipe on one end, and the scraping tool on the other end dug into the rock. Then we could push debris all the way through the passage and out of our way. When we needed to measure our progress, we would turn the scraper sideways in the passage and observe the clearance.
Alright. We worked about 2 hours before I had a desire to try the tomb. I just wanted to make sure I was going to make it through on the first try. B made one more sweep of the passage floor, clearing any loose rocks from where I would be crawling and pushing the wall we had made back to the back of the squeeze. I made preparations for the crawl by fashioning duct tape suspenders to prevent my shirt from sliding around while sliding across the rock. I went with a flashlight in my hand, even though my hand would be at my side. I knew I would need it once I got through. As an expression of faith, I did not tie a rope to my feet. I was confident I was going to make it. Finally, I made the attempt.
Although I didn't mention it in my journal, we did notice the breeze was back and the rumbling present.
I'm not gonna lie, this does have me like low-key anxious right now.
You bitch!
Oh my fucking gods! What the hell was that?
My roommate...
What was that tiring? Oh my fucking gods!
As you can tell, she's feeling better.
Apparently! Holy shit! I need a fucking moment. It was literally like, I'm a bit anxious right now, not gonna lie. Fucking like noise like someone just threw a duck in your room.
Like...
What? Woo! Fucking hell. Deep breaths. Deep breaths. But yeah, this story does have me a bit anxious right now. And your roommate jump scaring me did not help with that.
Look, you think like I asked her to fucking do that? I didn't expect that shit either, man. I was
Since
like...
we didn't do any...
I just texted her and I was like, we are recording our scary story podcast, you crackhead. You scared the shit out of both of us. Yeah, because you're a fucking crackhead!
Why were you doing a goose impression?
She's like, I can hear you talking shit about me.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep talking shit.
Well, no, she can't hear you because I have my headset on, but she can hear me talking shit. But
oh yeah, I can see the headphones.
I'm gonna tell her.
Tell her she sounds like a goose. Anyway, since we didn't do any work to the entrance, I had to go through the same dance routine to even enter the passage. Once I got my upper body through the hole, I shined the flashlight ahead of me to work out a plan of attack. The passage didn't seem any bigger than the last time I was there, but most of the work was done deeper in the squeeze. I paused a few minutes, then twisted my hips to get my lower body in. I slowly inched forward as my entire body slowly filled the passage. Before I was completely in, I got to the position into the position for the push. I dropped both of my hands to my side and turned my head to the right. Then I began to inch forward. Once my toes were inside the cave, I used them to push forward. I had to keep from scraping my body. I would walk using my shoulders, knees, and toes. Head, shoulders,
knees, and toes. Knees and toes.
Knees and toes.
We're entering the real crackhead hours, people.
Yes. Right.
Yes.
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 Meth.
Meth.
Anyway. Getting away from what I'm gonna do later with the weird spider thing.
Ooh.
You ever seen a horror host get high? They don't show you that on Are You Afraid of the Dark? Now it's kind of weird considering the fact that he echolocates, considering the, since he has, 15 eyes.
Yeah, I know he was bullshitting me. He just doesn't want to admit that he ate my fucking Skittles.
Well, no, he is legitimately blind. I'm really not sure what those eyes are for. Or if they are actually eyes and not just something that looks similar.
Still stole my fucking Skittles.
Alright. Let's see. Where the fuck? Oh, right. Progress was slow but steady. That was fine by me. A foot or two before the tight spot, I could already tell there was a little more room. Even so, began to touch the roof of the passage with my back. Oh, shit. Don't you make fun of me. I just saw, fucking... Okay, I swear, every time I yawn, my tongue, depresses a spit gland.
Right, there you go.
Fucking hell.
Sorry. This
But
is
yeah,
really
out of the
straining my
corner-
eyes, not having light on.
But yeah, out of the corner of my eye, I just saw a fucking stream of saliva go off.
Ooh, kinky.
I'm not sure
Sorry.
most people will call leaking kinky, but okay. But yeah, I
Comment
swear it
down
happens
below
every...
if you think leaking is kinky. Oh!
Anyway.
Oh my. Oh. Oh.
Alternatively.
Troll
Wait,
total.
no, lights are off. Now the lights are off.
Deal.
So you wouldn't be able to see me doing that.
Doing what? Oh. 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 Oh boy. Oh boy.
Brushing my teeth.
Stop miming this. Stop miming brushing your teeth at me, sir.
Do I make you Randy, baby? Anyway. What the fuck was I saying? Right. Every time I fucking yawn, I swear I gleek. But... Anyway. That was fine by me. A foot or two before the tight spot, nice, I could already tell there was a little more room. Even so, I began to touch the roof of the passage with my back. This time, however, I was able to continue moving forward. Once I reached the lowest point in the passage, and I could tell it was still going to be tricky. Even with the work we had done clearing out the loose rocks, I still felt sharp pebbles rolling under my chest as I slid along. Ow, my nips. Sorry, that's not a pleasant feeling to think about.
No, I agree. It's even more painful when you consider, okay, see, at least you have a flat chest.
You're not wrong.
I got fucking badonkers. Fucking squeezing through an 8-inch hole. Pfft, yeah, right. Let's see. When I could feel my back brushing the top of the passage in several places, I reverted to my technique of exhaling. Before I began, however, I took a minute to lay there in the passage. I could see the glow of B's flashlight as the rays of light managed to squeeze past my body. I could feel the cool breeze evaporate the drops of dirty sweat on my forehead. I could feel 1,000 sharp edges dig into the surface of my skin. I felt the twinge of excitement as I realized that the goal we had set out to achieve weeks ago was about to be realized. This thought alone made me want to keep moving. No matter how tight the passage became, I breathed in and out rapidly for a few moments and then began.
Exhale.
Scoot.
Stop to catch my breath.
Repeat.
Exhale. Okay, I guess we're not going to repeat it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was like, where did you see?
My nose poking out of the
My roommate
shadows.
scared away my last. My roommate scared my last brain cell away.
Nose.
That is a schnoz.
Yes, I have quite the nose. Anyway. I mean, it's a good thing that it doesn't look out of place on my face, I guess. It fits in with the rest of the geometry. After just a few inches of scooting, I could raise my head off the floor of the squeeze until the passage was beginning to open up. I relayed this information to B, and we both took a few seconds to celebrate. During the rest of the slide through the passage, B was cheering me on. Oh boy! Virgin Passage and Neil Armstrong territory! Neil Armstrong burst through Virgin Passage. Yes?
Mm.
Were the phrases he kept repeating. I was grinning ear to ear. A lot of rocks were getting in my mouth.
Crunchy. Extra protein.
No, that'd be bugs. I don't think the rocks are going to give you protein.
Iron?
That's not a protein. That's a metal. Proteins are like highly complex organic like compounds.
Honey is a protein.
Technically.
No, it's classified.
Yeah, it's classified
by the
as
FDA.
Meat. It's classified
as
by the
protein.
FDA as meat. Specifically raw meat.
Yes. Do with that information
Scientifically,
as you will.
though, I'm not sure. Because I think for the most part, honey is just sugar. Which would make it yeah, it's mostly just fructose and glucose.
You're just
That's
mostly
basic.
fructose and glucose.
Well, no, then I'd be diabetic.
I was trying to say that you're fruity and sweet. Ooh.
I mean, yes. You all right there?
Yeah. Let's see.
Right.
Even though the passage was beginning to get larger, it was still slow
that's how
going.
You know you're doing it right.
Oof. I had to continue scooting along for another 1.5 feet before I could slide my arms underneath me to use them to crawl. At that point, I felt my journey was essentially over. I was able to sit up slightly and move the rock wall we had erected several trips ago. Those rocks served as a somber reminder that a little caution could be wise.
Well, I feel like that's foreshadowing.
Oh, yeah.
I swear when I scrolled, I saw that picture move slightly, and that put me so fucking on edge. Oh, wow. I can see the underside of your chin now.
Rude.
But earlier, like, when you were leaning back, it was just, like, dark pits where your eyes were. AKA the usual case. Yeah. Like...
Yeah, I was just trying to stretch to, like...
something I'd expect in a ransom video. If you would like to see your son again, you're going to need to send $10,000 in a burlap sack under the pine tree in Park Place.
What kind of motherfucker do you think you is trying to ask me for $10,000 when I barely can afford a single chicken nugget? Keep the little bastard. I'd be terrible in a hostage negotiation because I'd be like, fuck it. Keep them.
Well, don't I feel loved?
No, it's more like if I ever like, oh, I would of course ransom for you, but I'm like saying like if I ever had to ransom for anybody else, I'd be like, yeah, you deal with that dumbass. Like, say I have a kid in the future and they kidnap my kid, I'd be like, fine, you pay their medical bills, make sure they get their homework done on time, and give them 3 square meals a day. Oh, by the way, have fun trying to get them to bed at night. They bite.
I believe that's called neglect.
No, it's not called neglect.
Yeah,
That's called giving the kidnapper, because, like, straight up, you see the energy I give up. Do you think some unprepared kidnapper is going to be able to handle any kind of spawn that comes from me?
Look, I'm just saying that if someone, like, if for some god's forsaken reason I had a kid, if the condom broke, and I had to deal with this shit, and I ended up, like, getting fucking, like, like, blurry-ass VHS and a fucking severed toe in the mail.
Okay,
You gotta be trying to get the little fucker back.
Okay, I'm just saying, like, if they try to do the whole bullshit of just sending, like, a weird-ass video. Now, if they're trying to threaten to send my child... If it was just a video, I'd be like, nah. Like, good luck. They're gonna be a little shit. But if they're, like, seriously, like, going, like, hardcore, like, I'm gonna send their pinky or some shit, then I'll be like, okay, I'm still a broke bitch, but let's work something out.
Here's the thing. I feel like if it was just the video, that would actually make me think that they had already killed the kid and was just doing this entirely to make money.
And by that point, I'd be like...
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. Don't use children to get money. That's a terrible thing. Even if they're your own children, don't use them to make money. Like, regardless of the situation, if you're using a child to get money, you're in the wrong. You hear that, parents of child actors?
Oh,
That one's less serious.
Yeah, but yeah.
Sometimes it's that the kid actually wants to go into acting, not that the parent's trying to live vicariously through the child. You hear that, mothers who put their children in beauty pageants? There we go. Fucking toddlers and tiaras, that's bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, where... Did you say your line, or...?
Yes.
You ended off with the rocks part, right?
Yes,
Like
the caution. Okay. Yeah.
I shouted back to B that I was through. We both took a moment to congratulate ourselves on our success. B would likely never be able to squeeze through the passage and see what I was seeing, so I gave him a description of what the cave looked like. Yeah, because like from that picture we saw of him, he is a heftier boy. So that makes sense. I can't hear you.
He a chunky boy.
So I guess from your comment about Ted's ass last time, we definitely know your type.
See, here's the problem. People think that I have a type. I'll literally make comments and I'll be like, oh, so your type's this. And they'll be like, what do you think about this person? I'm like, ew.
Like, tall and lanky definitely appears to be part of it.
Shit it.
I'm detecting a pattern.
Shit it. But yeah, no. Honestly, like I said, I typically don't have like a... See, I have a problem with tall and lanky, because every time I fall in love with a tall and lanky or get involved with a tall and lanky, I always get hurt.
Well, shit,
Exhibit A being
guilty.
my ex.
Okay, not me. Good to know.
Yeah, no. I think you're the only tall and lanky I've ever been involved with where I have not actually gotten hurt. yet.
Hmm.
We'll see how this goes. No.
Fucking hell.
Look, the top of my head suddenly really, 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 really itched.
I was laughing at the facial expression you made.
Well, because it hurt. It was like the hurt kind of itching.
Well. Okay. Well. Hopefully your potential new squeeze doesn't hurt you. Let's see. You're right. I gave him a description of what the cave looked like. At this point, I only had my mini mag, so I could not see very far into the passage. Yeah, mag lights don't really tend to give a lot of illumination, and I feel like it would have been even worse back in 2001.
Oh yeah, because your life sucks when you can't see into that passage.
Sorry, you tend to use flashlights for that?
Gotta make sure there's not like some weird spider demon up in there.
I heard that! I mean, now you're just provoking him on purpose. Let's see. Now I'm just imagining, like, flashlight play, and I'm not sure how I like that.
It on and people.
You get one of those high-powered ones.
Girl,
stick it down there, and you get one of those high-powered ones. You just stick it down there, and you just have like the outline of the hips, like the hip bone.
Nice.
I don't think that they actually make ones powerful enough for that. At least I hope not. Wait.
What?
I'm pretty sure, like... Fuck, I'm trying to think of, like, the positioning of, like the vaginal passage in comparison to the intestines and my brain. Fuck. Because I'm trying to think of, like, how high up that goes. And my brain's not entirely sure.
Welcome to What Are We Reading, where I make a dumbass comment and Llytic actually tries to figure out the schematics of it.
Well, like, I drew that fucking glass frog girl previously. Man, no.
That would just be glow stick, though. Because if she's that see-through, and you just be like, straight up like fucking glow stick.
Well, like, the whole thing, though, is that her intestines... Well, at least the way I drew her, like, her intestines were in front of... Like, her uterus isn't visible, there's her intestines first. But now I'm not entirely sure... Like, no, part of the intestines would not be in front of it because of the whole thing of, like, when a person's... Like, that would end up separating out the intestines, and that would be, like, a horrific situation. But I've yet to see, like, an anatomical dummy that has, like, the uterus, like, visible in front of the intestine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's not a... Because I don't feel like this is a thing of me being ignorant of, like, a woman's anatomy. I feel like this is just a whole thing of I'm not ever shown, like, proper, like, full anatomical diagrams of this. You know what I mean?
I'm pretty sure I could find you some.
Because, like, the uterus would have to be in front of the intestines, right?
So, excuse me. The intestines kind of rest on top / behind, I think.
On top. Okay.
I kind of
Okay.
like I say like when I say on top, I kind of like But so what it is because like whenever like you like pregnancy and the baby and the
Yeah.
fetus starts growing and everything like that, things get pushed.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it kind of
Okay. Okay.
yeah, because
Like.
let's see so it's kind of like on top, just kind
Okay.
of on top of it.
Which let's see.
I'm literally just feeling my stomach in that
Yeah.
area on myself to kind of like think about it.
But like you see why
Yeah.
like I was having trouble picturing it properly, right?
Yeah, it's like one of those things you actually have to find a good anatomy model.
Yeah, and like most of them I see, it's usually like the intestines all the way down to like the pubis. By
Yeah.
which I mean the hip bone.
Yeah.
I guess sometimes you do see like the top of the. I don't know, like that's the whole thing. Like I never find like proper anatomical models, and I never really had to think about this because pregnancy is not really something I'd ever had to deal with.
I would hope not.
Yeah, again, condoms yet to break. Oh fuck. Why are mommy and daddy together? Well, you see, daddy's not really capable of being part of a relationship. At least not like that.
Not like that. Well, like again, like that could honestly, like, again, like the whole relationship could work out the whole friends with benefit situation, and then for some reason, if a child comes to hand of that, then you just do the amicable co-parenting like a divorced couple would do. It's
Yeah.
not that hard.
Oh no, I'm not saying that it would be that hard. It would just be the whole thing of like, I'm just imagining the kid being used to everyone else's. It'd be like the whole thing of like what a divorced kid, like a kid of like child of divorce has to go through, but without the actual divorce happening. Because that's the whole thing of like children who are
Well,
like
you can always just say the
part of a
thing is
divorce.
like, oh well, we were dating when you were born and it just didn't work out.
Yeah.
Like it's easy.
Yeah.
You can like easily
Like,
kind of make a white lie. Like you're
I'm not
overthinking
saying that it would
this.
be hard. Like I'm not saying that it would be hard. I'm just thinking like kids
We
have to
went
go through weird shit, okay?
I know,
Weird
trust me,
shit
I
for
know.
stupid reasons.
Trust me, I know.
It's the whole thing of like, oh well, everyone else's
I was one of
parents
the
are like
kids that
married.
was I was one of the kids that was teased because my parents were divorced, even though technically my parents themselves never actually got married, but my dad and stepmom divorced. So
yeah, but yeah, like you know what I'm saying though, right?
yeah,
Like it'd be that whole thing of like they're used to everyone else's parents being together, and then like, well, why aren't mine? What's wrong?
Satan.
Like I'm not saying, like I'm not saying that it would be hard for me. I'm saying it might be hard on the kid.
True. But it
Want
also
a kid
depends on
having
just
to
how
deal
you
with
raise
me.
your. It also depends on how like you just raise your kid, because like if you raise your kid to like not let those kind of people bother them, then they're gonna be fine.
Well, like you can try your best with that, but at the same time, like
Yeah, true.
most of their formative stuff is going to be like with those other kids. So what they're taught to have bother them is going to be influenced by that. I don't know. Why am I thinking about this?
All I did was make a comment about a flashlight. You went off on this tangent on your own.
Yeah, because you got me fucking think. Like then I had to like I started thinking about that, and it was like, wait, no, for pregnancy to make any fucking sense, it can't be there. Anyway,
I am very proud of myself right now.
it's a good thing with the glass frog girl, like her shorts were at least like high waisted enough to where you weren't seeing that far down.
You
weren't seeing the top of the ute.
Ute.
That is a terrible nickname.
Yeah, straight up.
Yeah. I was unable to do anything at this point but sit due to the size of the passage. All of the broken rocks we'd pushed through Floyd's tomb were around me at this point. There are no other signs of human intrusion. I had to wait until B passed me my helmet light to get a better feel for the cave.
Oof. Let's see here. B used the
Feeling
pole
this
we made
rock,
to...
man. How does it feel, Knuckles? Rough. Like, really rough. Have you seen that video?
No, I'm trying to read.
Sorry, anyone out there who hasn't, watch Snapcube's real-time dubs of anything, really. Sonic Adventures 2, Sonic 06, Spider-Man for PlayStation, the Resident Evil 2 remake, Sonic Riders. They're all gold.
Anyways. B used the pole we made to slide me the end of a rope. Then I was able to pull all of my gear through the squeeze. The first thing he sent through was my helmet and light. After I got the light fired up, I was able to see our new section of cave. Ours. It was an exciting experience to see the results of hours of hard work over the course of several weeks. At this point, we still had no idea what the cave had to offer. The only thing I could see was the passage immediately following the squeeze. It was a narrow passage with a low ceiling. I would easily be able to get through it, but I would have to crawl. I began taking pictures so I could show B.
I pissed on your wife, Eggman.
What?
She's mine now, that's how that works. What? You need to watch those videos. They're fucking hilarious.
No, my roommate just made... What are you doing? Go away. What? Yes. Did he scare you? Did you turn the faucet on, Tubbs?
No. I got the little bathroom. I turned it on. He was like, his eyes in the sink. That's why I did that weird ass little yell.
Oh, I thought you were being stupid. I didn't realize you actually got scared. Get out of my room, Tubbs.
What was actually in the sink, so I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, heads up. The cat likes to sleep in the sink.
Well.
It would have been okay if it was Dean or Hermione. You know, they got colors. I would have called them and immediately registered. Okay, cool. No, I was like, creepy shadow with eyes coming from the drain and gonna eat me.
So,
cats are a wonderful thing.
If y'all heard that, my roommate got her karma. We have a pure black cat named Tubbs. He has a habit of sleeping in the sink in my bathroom. My roommate was using my bathroom because our other roommate was using theirs. And she came out of the little separate room that the toilet was in and got scared by our cat sleeping in the sink. So, karma.
Yes. Hair in my mouth.
Fuck you! Did that break you?
What the fuck was even being said before that happened?
I don't know. She just came in and said "fuck you," so I responded with "fuck you."
Yeah, I heard that. Better feel the cave. You said the whole thing. Did you? Yeah, you said that whole passage. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh right, I was referencing Snap. That's right. I asked B how far he thought I should venture into the new cave, in light of the strange events that had occurred. For the first time, he, too, toned down his enthusiasm as he remembered the noises. He slid the pipe through the tomb, and with a loosened tip on the end. He said I could use it as a weapon if I ran into an animal, or... He also told me to make sure we could hear each other as I progressed into the cave. But you got a picture, we have a foot, and we have a tunnel. First section of the new passage. I was almost laying down since the passage was so small. My feet are extended in front of me, as you can see. Notice the broken rock on the floor of the cave? The passage looks like a dead end, but it turns gently to the right near the end. Oh, I do not like that. I do not like that. And back to anxious again. An anxious boy.
Alright, so this is a side note off the journal. Even though we were at least thinking of the possibility of running into trouble, we never really considered the fact that if I got into trouble, B would never be able to rescue me. And in fact,
Fuck.
no one would be able to get to me for many hours if I were in serious trouble, as in hurt. There was no way anyone could be able to get me in time. But symbolic of the whole experience, we were focused on our goal and not the potential dangers we faced. So far, we had dodged the proverbial bullet. So far.
I strapped on my gloves and knee pads, grabbed my camera, and began my adventure. I crawled through the passage, pictured above, which was about 20 feet long. You alright there? You okay? Oh no.
I read ahead a little bit.
At the end of the crawl, the cave bent slightly to the right. I'm guessing that's not it.
No.
Not
No.
talking about the angle
No.
of the dangle. You okay there? I get the feeling that this is going to get real fucked. But then I would have to climb up a gentle slope, but then I would be able to stand by the next section of the cave. Next section was about 40 feet long. In addition to having a higher ceiling... Did you move the camera? I swear I saw a pair of eyes above you. like the fucking because it's low laying it up. I don't know if this is happening also on mine, but no.
You mean my ears?
Are you able to see what your camera's doing? Of the whole, well, now I can't point to the ceiling anymore, but the whole thing of the grain that's happening and all that.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah.
in that happening on the ceiling, for a bit I saw two whitish spots. But yeah, I don't know if my camera's doing that.
Oh, that.
If it's doing the whole grain thing right now or not. I don't know.
Oh, I know what you saw. The light from Ziggy's terrarium was reflecting off of the light bulbs of the ceiling fan.
I mean, I wasn't assuming that it was an actual supernatural thing for obvious reasons, but
I was about to be like, "Oh, is Becky back?" But I guess
Becky
she's not.
The name of that bat?
So. No, that's Charles.
Reference to previous thing. Anyway. In addition to having a higher ceiling, the walls were a little wider than the section I had just crawled through. Both sections were relatively straight. No comment. The floor was covered a rock which crunched as I crawled, and then walked across it. Again, journal thing, so I guess it makes sense that there would be moments where words are missing. The walls were basically the same as much of Mystery Cave, except pristine. It was obvious no one had been there before me. Upon closer examination of the walls, I found two delicate types of formation. The first resembled several chunks of grated cheese tied together at one end, with the rest of the cheese flopping down. It's an interesting mental image. Second formation was just tiny strands of rock, thinner than human hair. Looked pretty cool. I have a few examples of both kinds of formations. Are we gonna see photos of that? I'm guessing that one's the cheese type one. Caroline, you looking at porn again?
I'm reading the story on my phone.
Oh, you're doing that on your phone. Okay. I didn't know that was how you were reading the story.
Well, that's the only way I can do it and do the webcam.
The webcam doesn't work if you have like a window open? Or, oh, you wouldn't be able to see my webcam, I guess.
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense. Alright.
Jeez.
Jeez.
I
The
was-
Wisconsinite in me is happy.
I was not even through the second section of the cave, and I could barely hear B. Caves passages are not very acoustically friendly.
Nope.
I shouted to him that I would go for half an hour, then return. He said that would be fine and to be careful. Then I proceeded to explore some more. I could walk nearly upright at this point. I was on the third straight section of the cave when I discovered a crystal formation on the wall to my right. It was in several layers on the wall, resembling clear candle wax that was allowed to melt and drip down the wall. There were several small stalactite-looking formations formed by these crystals. The longest was about 4 inches in length. There would have been one much longer, judging by the size of the base, but it had broken off. I had looked to see if I could locate where it ended up, but I couldn't find it.
Okay, so ceiling. Ceiling.
Yeah, so the picture that it's showing is of the crystal formations, not the weird rocks.
Not the cheese.
Not the cheese.
Crystal formations are right behind the rock in the upper right-hand corner of the photo. Right hand, that side.
Yep.
I'm going to ignore my dyslexia. I could walk upright, but I had to stoop on occasions, like ducking under the rock. That's right, stalactites on the ceiling, stalagmites on the ground. You gotta hang tight.
Yep.
To the ceiling.
Yep.
The passage continued on for another 100 feet or so before the cave opened up a little. At the very end of a short, straight segment of the cave, it was at the end of a short, straight segment of the cave. At the very end of the segment, the cave made a bend to the left and opened up into a room. Just at a point where the room began, there was a round rock that appeared to be leaning against the wall. This seemed odd, but singular formations are common in caves, so it was by no means unique. I crawled and stepped over several chunks of rock that fell down from the ceiling, but this one was more round than the others. One saw you look behind you. Fuck.
I don't trust my roommate anymore.
That startled me. Like, well, what happened?
I just don't trust my roommate anymore.
I'm coming for the Skittles.
Go for it.
I don't want to be in the middle of this.
I swear I hear humming. Anyways.
Anyways. Let's see, where was I? Once past the rock, the room opened up to a height of about 15 feet. It was about 15 feet in width and about 30 feet in length. At the far end of the room was another passage leading straight out.
Let's see. As I entered the room,
Yay.
As I entered the room, I had an eerie feeling. It was like the old saying that I felt like I was being watched. Once again, the excitement of the new find faded, and the memories of the mysterious side of the cave crept back into my mind. Suddenly, I felt very alone. Fortunately for my ego, I was nearly out of time and had to get back to B before my half hour was up. I took several pictures of the room I was
You
just...
alright?
Yeah, my eyes went out of focus for a second. I was going to just get a feel for how long the next passage was when something caught my attention. On the left side of the room, on the wall about eye level, I discovered what appeared to be hieroglyphics.
Mm.
It was a single drawing that almost appeared to be just part of the rock coloration. It looked like very crude representations of people standing below a symbol. I was pumped. This meant that there had to be another entrance to this cave. Even if the entrance was closed or blocked, it might mean an opportunity to open it up and get B into the cave. I took another look at the drawing to make sure I could describe it to B. Then I took some more pictures and headed back to B.
Uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When I got back to the squeeze, I could barely talk fast enough to let B know everything I'd discovered. He was just as excited to hear about our newfound treasures. As we debated our next move, what our next move would be, I began to send my gear back through the tomb to B. I told him it would be best if we got someone else to come back through with me, in case something happened. He agreed. Once I got all my gear through, I was faced with the wonderful task of having to negotiate Floyd's tomb again.
Okay. Theoretically, a person should be able to get out of a passage he just crawled through by simply reversing what he just did. If he contorts his body a certain way to get in, he should be able to get into the same position to get out. In practice, this may not prove to be possible or practical. Such was the case with the tomb.
I believe a good example of that would be, I think we previously mentioned this, or at least I did. That guy who fell down to where he was upside down in that cave, upside down in that crevice, because the way his body was positioned meant that getting him back out would involve breaking his legs. But yeah. So, they're not wrong. That man is dead. I don't think yay is appropriate here.
No, yay is appropriate.
No, man is dead. I determined in advance that I would attempt to go head first back through the squeeze. I knew that I could definitely make it by going feet first, but that would mean backing up all the way through the tomb. That would take a long time and be very exhausting. My only concern going in head first was that when I got to the end when I got to the end of the squeeze. I would have to get back through the hole we made without the benefit of being able to twist my body.
That seems like a bad idea.
I'm suddenly having a flashback to any time, fuck, I don't know whether or not. I guess it's not too bad. You ever, forget your key inside the house and have to climb in through the window?
Or the dog door.
No dog doors. Have had to do windows.
I've had to crawl through
elevated house.
I've had to crawl through dog doors when my grandma accidentally locked us out of the house.
Oh, shit. But windows are very interesting because it's the whole thing of, at very least, in my case, floor level is, the level of the floor is not the same as the level of the ground. There is, a 2 or 3 foot difference. So navigating that is very interesting. But yeah, so basically, he would end up, with his upper body just, 3 feet above the ground, getting out of the hole.
Ouch.
You alright there?
Yeah, I'm just trying to adjust.
Let's see. Oh well. I chose to go head first and deal with the exit when I got to it. I guess at the very least you have B there to help you out.
Yeah. I started into the squeeze very close to the tight spot, so at least I would have it over with soon. It turned out to be tricky getting through. I had to shift my hips to the right a little to get through, but I just kept plugging away at it. My hands were once again by my side. My head was turned to the right, and I was scooting with my toes.
Right there? Eyes in focus again?
Yeah, I'm fine. And once again, I was using my head as a gauge to tell when I was at the tight spot, and then when I was past it. I seemed to get a little quicker on the way out. Must have been from all the work we had done to get through. So, it's your turn.
Right, yes. I started into the squeeze very close to the tight spot. Wait, nope, that's where you started.
Yeah, yours was I was little.
I very much am not.
No, you're not.
Nor am I a little. A little over halfway through when something bizarre happened. Insert 1,000 references to JJBA there. I was laying there, taking a brief break, when I heard a sound deep within the cave. It was faint, but distinct sound of rock. It was the faint but distinct sound of rock sliding on rock. Oh, fuck! Just hearing that behind you.
Mm-hmm.
The thought of something going after my ass. Hey! No! No! I don't want to think about the demons eating my ass. You jerk. You jerk.
I'm sure the spider demon beat down.
He's not exactly my type. Not sure how to feel about that. To be honest. I mean, on one hand, I could do better. Bitch. Anyway. But yeah, like, I don't know which would be worse. Like, having it towards your head exposed to that? Or having it the opposite direction? You know?
Mm-hmm.
Because either way, you're not, like, I guess with legs, you might be able to kick out, but not really much. I couldn't move. I just lay there straining to hear the sound again.
You could do what I do when I get scared. If I get, like, genuinely scared, a lot of the times I'll fart.
I had a feeling it was going there.
Just... Like, one of my friends scared me earlier today. I had to go to a meeting, and she was just... I was leaning against her car, and she, like, started it to roll up her window, and it scared me. And everybody just heard a little...
I just had a fucking flashback. Researching different mythologies is always interesting. Partly because some of them are hard to find a lot of stuff for. For instance, a lot of stuff from like African mythology, like the mythology of different African tribes. One of the things I found was because giant monsters that are able to swallow people whole are apparently a reoccurring thing in African mythology. Like various African mythologies. Not African mythology isn't all one contained thing, it's a giant fucking continent. But like one of them, like talking about like this girl hiding from this monster, like in the bushes, and then in her fear she farted. Which alerted the monster to where she was and it ate her. It's just like Wow,
I
that would be a
keep
terrible way to go.
I keep seeing people Ow.
Shit.
Damn asthma.
Okay. Earlier, I
Anyways,
had food go down the wrong pipe, and that fucking fucked me up.
so I'm playing this game like called Misfortune or something like that, and it's this little girl.
Oh,
And
Little
like,
Misfortune?
yeah.
Yeah.
And so
Oh, fuck.
people keep using the audio on TikTok of her like trying to sneak around and her farting, and it was like, shh, stop, but I'm trying to do a ninja mission.
Yeah.
And it's just her tootsing. That just made me think of that. Like, that's probably how I would die in a horror movie. Is I would either like fart or burp or sneeze or like some sort of body function would give my ass away.
Whoop, there we go.
I
I have to fucking... Oh, boy. Sorry, I had to reconnect to the call.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-da-ba.
And I cannot see you, I can only hear you. Classy.
Thank you.
Oh. It is still just loading for me, that's fun.
Give me a second.
Okay. I just lay there, straining to hear. Oh, there we go.
What the fuck is that? Oh.
Is that little thing like right next to your ear?
Yeah, like the little
Like the thing on the wall?
Yeah. That's from the light.
It's from the light. Like, what the fuck?
I turned off my camera and then I turned it back on and I saw it and it looked like a face for a second and I just about pissed myself.
That's what you get.
I know you stole my other Skittles.
You really are just like fucking full of salt today, aren't you? Perhaps. Also, why is your voice doing that? Not the voice you had earlier.
Because he ate the Skittles.
Shut up. Oh, I think that might be part of it. I am no longer connected to the internet. That's weird. It's been doing that recently.
Yeah, that happens to me a lot.
Oh yeah, it's been happening recently, just like late at night, all of a sudden it's like, hey, fuck you.
Go to bed.
Set that to troubleshoot. Anyway. Nothing. Oh wait, I just lay there, straining to hear the sound again. Nothing. I quickly began to scoot towards the exit. I didn't mention the sound to B, but I did recall one of our earlier trips when B said he heard the same thing.
The task of getting out of our hole turned out to be as painful as I thought it would be. I had to put my arms overhead and force my shoulders through the hole. I definitely left some skin behind as I slipped through. B helped me as I wiggled my upper body out of the passage. Then I could catch myself and ease my lower body out and begin to load up our gear. I was trying to listen to any sounds coming from the hole, but we were making too much noise gathering our stuff. As much as I look forward to getting into the passage, it was a relief to get back out. That is pretty much how I feel about caves in general. I love to go in, but I feel good when I get back out again.
No comment. Oh, okay. Let's see. Unable to reset your character. Computer's network configuration. Like, I don't know what exactly is up with my... You okay there? Ear thing?
I don't
Okay.
like these pictures.
Oh. Oh. Yep, that's understandable. Something strange happened with the pictures I took from the cave. The pictures I took in the passage leading up to the large room all turned out just fine. Strangely, none of the pictures taken in the room turned out. Pictures of the round rock, and more importantly, pictures of the hieroglyphs I saw. Pictures taken before and after the room turned out great, but negatives of the photo taken in the room, but the negatives of the photos taken in the room were clear. Nothing. I remember what the hieroglyphs looked like, so I drew a picture to give you an idea of what I saw. Which we have the hieroglyph there. It's a weird kind of crude drawing of what I saw, but it's accurate. The first thing I thought when I saw it was the Blair Witch Project. It has the same kind of feel to it. This symbol was in the center, and several figures that looked like people raising their hands were below this. You see the weird kind of face looking thing too, don't you? I'm not sure if that one's intentional.
I don't know if that's supposed to be the round rock or what, but it makes me very unhappy.
I mean, the second one has the round rock outlined, it says. And so, partially in the shadows is where the round rock I saw. Which, like, you look in the square in the second version of the picture, there's a little, like, outlined thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know.
That is your hand. That fucked with me. I just see, like, that, like, in the corner, and it's like,
I was
what?
stretching.
What the? What are we talking about? Okay, that should be set up to connect automatically. Disconnect you, connect you back. Because issues with like Wi-Fi right now. Now, this bugs me. This legit bugs me because I would like to be able to download the audio. You know? You dig?
Yeah, you dig.
You dig?
Dig, 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 dig,
Dig, dig, dig, dig, dig, dig.
dig.
Like, why? So, I guess I'm not going to be able to get the audio immediately, but whatever. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. There. Alright. Special thank you to, yeah, that's where we're going to leave it, by the way. Special thank you to our patrons, Summer Moon Soldier and Destiny Baird, for supporting us. If you like what we do, then consider going down to that link in the description and pledging any amount of money you want. Every little bit helps. Barring that, you can always just, you know, do the usual YouTube stuff. Interaction with the channel is kind of just what allows stuff to run properly. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Okay, I guess you're not saying bye to the lovely people.
Bye.
Oh, why is it? Oh, that's why it's not.